everybody, this is Diana from So Very Crafty, and we are here today to make this terrific little face mask pouch that you can attach to your backpack, purse, or keychain, totally up to you. It is a super simple beginner project, and as you can see, I've stored my face mask in my pouch. So all you have to do is fold it up and it slides right into the pouch without any trouble at all. And it closes using cam snaps. And cam snaps are little plastic snaps that are super easy to install. And I'm going to show you how to install those today in this video. And I'm going to make a separate video on how to install these cam snaps, so that if you just want to refer back to how to install a cam snap, you'll be able to do it. So let's get started on how to make this super easy face mask storage pouch. So what do we need? Well, not much for this project. We need some outer fabric, some lining fabric, a swivel clip, and some cam snaps. We are going to measure our fabric pieces so that they measure 4.5 inches wide by 11 inches long, and we're going to have two of those, one lining piece, one outer piece. And then we're going to have a little tab piece from our outer fabric that measures 2 inches by 2 inches. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to place our lining fabric and our outer fabric right sides together, and we're going to head over to the sewing machine and we are going to do two things. We are going to stitch along the short end of our fabric pieces using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Once we've done that, we are going to flip our pieces so that they are right sides out, and we're going to do a little top stitch along our outer fabric right along the seam line to make it a little sturdy. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what our next step is. So let's head over to the sewing machine and let's take care of that. Okay, here we are at the sewing machine, and we are simply going to stitch our two fabric pieces using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let's remember to back stitch here. And there we have our 1/4 inch seam. We're going to flip these pieces right sides together, right sides out. And we can just simply finger press these with our fingers. And we're going to do a little top stitch along the seam to keep it in place. And there we have it, a nice straight little top stitch. Now we're going to head over and I'm going to show you the next steps. Okay, so here we are, and we have our outer piece and our lining piece sewn right sides together, or wrong side, they're now wrong sides together. And we're going to make our little tab. All we're going to do for this is fold the raw edges to the center and then fold it in half, and we're going to stitch right along these two sides. and come back, and we're going to add this to our outer piece and move on to our next step. So let me run over to the sewing machine and just stitch these right along the edge. I'm not going to show you the stitching on this. There's no reason, because they're just 2 straight stitches right along the edge, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are, and we have sewn our little tab piece. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take our little swivel clip, and this is a 1/2 inch swivel clip, and we are going to just place our tab piece inside our swivel clip, fold it, fits perfectly in there, and we are going to place it just below our stitch line where we top stitched the seam for our outer part of our fabric. And I'm just going to take a clip, a Wonder Clip here, and clip this on here. I'm going to run over to the sewing machine real quick, and I'm just going to stitch this in place so it doesn't move when I move on to my next step. I'm not going to show you on the sewing machine how to do that. It's just a quick tacking this in place so that it stays for our next step. But as you'll note, the swivel clip is facing toward our fabric and not away from it. Intuitively, you want it to face that on the other side, because that's where it's going to end up, but it's going to be facing inside until we're finished with our project. So let me head over to the sewing machine, and I will just tack this real quick, and we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so we have tacked our swivel clip onto our fabric piece. Now we are going to turn this the other way around, and we need to round our corners just a bit to give our pouch the rounded look, the way we have it on our sample project here, and that is very easy to do. I'm just simply going to fold this in half lengthwise. I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to round the edge just like that, so that all of our edges are exactly the same and it's nice and even. Move that aside, and now we have our rounded edges so that we have a nice round edge for our pouch. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to open our project out, and we are going to fold up our lining stitched edge about 3/4 of the way up. And we can just eyeball this and clip it, again making sure that our tab piece is facing inwards. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to fold up our lining piece so that it matches the bottom piece and the rounded piece are all matching, and we're going to move our clips and have those clips clip together. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to then stitch these pieces together. And the way we're going to do this is we are going to start slightly to the right of our top, stitch all the way around, catching both layers at the bottom, and stop a little bit to the left of our top, because we're going to leave a little opening in the top part of our pouch, because we're going to have to turn this right sides out, because right now everything is wrong sides out. So let's head over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so here we are back at the sewing machine, and we have our piece. We are going to start just to the side of center. We're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we are going to stitch all the way around. And we're just going to follow the contours. Now when we get to the bottom, we're going to stop with our needle down, pivot, and continue to sew. Remember to backstitch. And now we're going to head over and go to our next step. Okay, we have now stitched our pouch, and now we're going to turn it right sides out. We have our little hole in the top. I probably should have made it a little bit bigger, but it should still work. There we go. Everything's coming through. Nice and neat. We are going to poke out our corners here. I'm going to use my purple thing to poke out these corners here. I like that purple thing because it's got a flat edge and a pokey edge where I can get these corners nice and crisp. Same for the top, but keeping in mind that we have a curved top. Now the next thing that we are going to do before we move on to adding our cam snap is we are going to top stitch just this top part of our pouch. And that's going to close up this opening that we have at the top. So you actually have a choice. You can use ladder stitch if you want, which is a hand stitch, or I prefer just to top stitch right along the edge. It makes it a little more sturdy and gives it a nice finished look. So let's head over and just do a quick top stitch all the way around the top, and we'll come over and we're going to show you how to do those cam snaps. Okay, we're here at the sewing machine and we are just going to give this a quick top stitch right along the top. And that's nice and neat. And while I'm over here, since my iron is over here, I'm going to give this a quick press. Okay, now we have pretty much finished our little pouch. All we have to do now is the cam snaps. And this is a super simple process. Cam snaps, at least the ones I have, come in a box like this. And they come in multiple colors, as you can see. I use them all the time for all kinds of projects and things. So you can use them for just an array of things. They also come with a package of tools. The primary tools that you need are this cam snap pliers setter tool and the awl, which is a very pointy thing, a tool that you make holes with. So the way that we are going to do our cam snaps today is we are going to fold down our top of our pouch, and we want to make sure that our cam snaps are even and centered. So I like to fold in half because that gives me the exact center, and finger press a little bit, and you can see that there's a line there that tells me where it is. Now I want to place my cam snap about right here, and I'm just going to poke a hole with my awl. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but there is a hole there that I've used, that I've poked with my awl. And I'm going to make a corresponding hole just in the top part of my pouch. I don't want it going through the other side. So I can just lightly score the hole, and you can see it on the fabric. The lightly scored hole, and then I'm going to use my awl and I'm just going to poke the hole right through here. So I have 2 holes that I know are going to match up. The other way that you could do this is you could just mark it with a Friction heat erasable pen and measure them if you like, but I find this way to be the easiest. So what you'll notice about the cam snaps themselves is you're going to need 4 pieces. 2 of them look like tacks, little plastic tacks with a little pointy side and a flat side. Then you have the other half. There's a female side and a male side. And those are the 2 sides that go together and snap together when you are snapping your project together. So you need 1 of each of those in order for your cam snaps to work. So the first thing you're going to do is take one of these tacks and you're going to place it on the outside of your project so that the outside is a nice round circle and you've got the pointy side facing the lining. I am going to just use the male side of my cam snap, and I'm going to place it right over the pointy side of my tack, just like that. But if I leave it like that, it'll just fall out. So that's not helpful for us. I need my setting tool in order to make this secure. There's a black side to the setting tool and a clear side to the setting tool. The black side is where the tack front sits on to keep it nice and secure and so it doesn't bend. The clear side goes in between and you press really hard, and what it does is it bends over that pointy end so that it flattens and it becomes secure and the snap can't come out, and it's nice, safe, and secure. Now, in order to do the other side of the snap, it's sort of intuitive to want to put this through the front, but we don't do that. We're going to put this pointy side through the back, through the hole, put our female side right on there, just like that. We're going to insert our tool inside, just as we did before, and press. We flattened our pointy part, and now our cam snap is installed, and we are ready to go. And our little project to put our mask in is complete. This opens and closes with no problem. All we have to do is hook this onto our keychain, onto our backpack or our purse, and you can store your mask nice and neat when you're not wearing it, or if you have extra masks like I do, you can just store them in there and you're ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this project today, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to install cam snaps. If you did, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. This is a super simple project to store your mask in when you're not using it, And if you are interested in getting some cam snaps of your own, I'll put the link into the comment section, into the description section. I'll also put the link for that purple thing into the description section as well. And you can get those items yourself. But otherwise, give this project a try. I use mine every day. I have it connected to my purse, but for students or other men who carry backpacks and other people, it's perfect for that. So give it a try. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and head over to www.sewverycrafty.com for more sewing and crafting tutorials. Thanks everybody, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.